Hey everyone, and welcome to Screams After Midnight TV Edition. I'm Peter, that's Timothy. We, of course, are working our way through Tales from the Crypt, the original anthology series from HBO from the early 90s and tail end of the late 80s. This, of course, is going to be Season 2, Episode 7. It's called The Sacrifice. Full spoilers for the episode, as we always have. Tim.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy this episode?
100% not. I thought this was a horrible episode.
Oh my. Oh my.
I absolutely hated it.
Oh, well. That's out the gate. That is a bold opinion.
Yeah.
Unlike 2 weeks ago, when you came in hating Three's a Crowd, and I was like, no, I love this. I don't have that, I'm not opposing you this week.
Okay.
I don't know if I hated it as much as you did, admittedly, because you are passionately, I thought it was just dull. I was like,
I think, well, I mean, if it's just its own standalone thing or whatever, it's fine. But just compared to all the other episodes, I thought it was such a downhill fall, because for the most part I've enjoyed every episode to some extent, and this was the first episode where I'm just like, man, this is boring and there's nothing cool or redeeming about it. Even some of the other episodes I didn't like, they'll usually have some type of button or something on the end that I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool, or at least this gore or effect was cool, This, it was just nothing. And the worst part about it is it comes in I feel like we've had, I mean, maybe it feels closer together because we've been watching so many, but I feel like this is the fourth or fifth cheating husband love triangle murder spouse story we've had. It's like
Tim, you say that it's maybe because we've been watching so many of it, but we've been watching them one a week, and these are all from the same season, so people who were watching it in 1991 would have seen these at the exact same rate that we are watching it right now.
Yeah, but I mean, we went from the first season right into the second, which admittedly the first season was, short too, but...
Yeah, but all the episodes you're talking about that have been this love triangle kind of thing have been the last 3 or 4. They've all been from season 2, so...
Yeah.
So there's actually no difference, so it's like people theoretically at the time should have been feeling the same kind of fatigue of these same plot elements.
Yeah. True, very true. But, yeah, man, what a bummer.
Yeah, I didn't hate it as much as you did. I think there was some qualities to it that I kind of enjoyed. Mainly it was when Michael Ironside showed up, and I thought just him, because it's almost a complaint I have, is that I feel like he just comes out of nowhere. They don't set him up at all early on in the episode. Beyond, one casual reference, oh, my boss or someone I know set me up with this meeting. So he just walks in and I was like, oh, it's Michael Ironside, and I got excited, and he is quite good because he's always quite good. He's Michael Ironside. He's good.
Maybe you're just gonna say it, but I know the name, but I can't really think of what he's been in off the top of my head.
Yeah, I was just gonna say who it was for people who didn't. I assumed you did. I'm actually disappointed you don't.
I'm sure once you say the titles, I'll be like, oh yeah.
Well, he's in Scanners. That was a big thing he was in. He was the main bad guy in Scanners. But he's been in other stuff. He was in stuff recently. He was in X-Men First Class. He had a small role.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but he was in a lot of B movies and stuff in the 80s, and he typically always plays a villain because he looks and sounds like a villain. I'm sure he's a lovely man in real life, but in the movies he's always a villain. He's just got this sort of dark, sort of not edgy. Edgy sounds emo. So it's a very
brooding.
Not brooding. His voice is very
lustrous.
His voice is very hard and gravelly, but without being over the top. It's he's got this perfect balance of just sounding like an evil megalomaniac, but intimidating. I don't know. It's Michael Ironside. He's great.
At the same time, you can also see how he could be a very gentle lover.
Well, this episode implies some things about his love making. So the plot of this one, of course, is that we have James, who's an insurance rep, salesman guy. I don't know. They kept talking about insurance and beneficiaries, and I'm like, I kind of get what he's doing, but he's paying back some of his commission to the rich husband that he's been sort of set up with to go and do a job for. But the rich husband's a bit of a sleazeball and like says, okay, I'll give you my work if you give me part of your commission back, as a kind of a deal he's not very happy about. But he falls in love with this who's a fairly old guy. You know, he's clearly in his like 50s, 60s.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got like a younger wife who's attractive, and James falls for her. She seems to fall for him, and they, you know, meet up outside of like his house. Like she finds him on his boat. He lives in a boat because it's the 80s in Los Angeles, and some people just live on boats. You live in Los Angeles, Timmy. Is there a lot of people living on boats?
No, no. I mean, you actually have to like. Well, I mean, Los Angeles is so big that it could mean like a lot of different parts, but there isn't really like a beach in like Los Angeles, the the city part that most people would think of. But yeah, I don't know anyone who lives on boats. When I go to the beach, I don't really see that many people out there.
To be fair, he's not at the beach.
Up.
He's at the docks, I guess.
Docks, yeah.
Do you ever find yourself out by the docks?
I visited a friend in like Marina Del Rey a couple of times, but even those, I don't know if people are actually living on them.
Yeah. He also he seemed to think it was like an old joke that his boat was called the Why Not. Do you get that? Like,
yeah, they said like they made it seem like every boat is called that, but I don't.
I've never heard of this in my life. I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean maybe if you're a seaman, maybe that's like a super funny joke, but I don't.
Well, news to me. But anyway, they seemingly fall for each other. And James, without even a hint of like hesitation or like, it's not like he just like stumbles onto the idea that maybe they can kill him and get away with it so they can be together. He just openly starts talking about it, and she seems to go along with it. But it also doesn't seem like he's the sort of person who's killed before or has thought about killing before. It just feels like, we could just kill him.
Yeah.
As if it's an idea you have like randomly in the afternoon, like while you're having lunch. You know what we could do after dinner? We could kill him, and
what better way to sweep the woman of your dreams off her feet?
No, he sweeps her husband off his feet.
Oh, that's actually a good joke, Pete. I'll give you that.
Thank you. Yeah, he throws him off the balcony, and they think they've got away with it because he's not signed the insurance yet that would give her all the money, so the motive's not there. Which I actually do think is quite smart. I think that's actually quite a smart little ploy. Like, if you're not actually interested in the money and you just want to kill him, do it before he signs insurance that gives it to you, and that removes you as a suspect. Because why wouldn't you wait an extra 10 minutes to,
Yes. It's also really awkward the way he throws him off, because it's not like just like a quick push and like a very clean swoop over. It's like they're kind of like wrestling a little bit, and like I don't know, like they're just flailing all about it. It kind of looks very awkward.
I actually kind of liked how awkward it was.
It made it seem like a little more realistic.
Yeah, like this is one of these things in movies and TV shows. They always do it really easily and slick. It's very slick.
Yeah.
But having them kind of stumble, and as if he's as if he sucks at it. He's not done it before. It makes it feel a bit more real and authentic, which the rest of the episode doesn't feel authentic or real. So, I mean, maybe you could argue it's out of place, but I liked it in that one moment. But then after the police leave, Michael Ironside just shows up at the door, and she starts going on about how he's an ex-boyfriend of hers and he's really controlling and evil, and Ironside reveals that he was across the street, he lives across the street so that he could spy on her, and he took photos of them killing this guy, and all he wants in return for his silence, what he's blackmailing for, and this is where the episode gets kind of fun to me, just because it is like I was not expecting the words that came out of his mouth. He's like, I want to share Gloria. He's like, what, share? What does that? Because I was like, wait, he wants a threesome? What? It's like, no. This time till this time, she's mine. This time to this time, she's yours. And I'm like, this is really dark. This is like sex slavery. What's going on here? And then like later on when it skips ahead and she like comes back after a night of being with him, she's like, oh yeah, we went to this like sex dungeon place and he made like 3 people watch us have sex over and over. I'm like, this is like ridiculous. Now, obviously the twist that ends up happening is James ends up killing himself because he wants her to be free, because if he's not alive to get blackmailed, then there's no reason that she'll be trapped. but it turns out that they just wanted him to kill himself, and she was actually with him the whole time, and they're actually happy together, and it's all a bit it's a very dastardly, convoluted ploy.
Yeah, I mean, the whole, from start to finish, the whole plan sounds like very, like there's so many like leaps and bounds in logic, I feel. It seems like just super tacked on, and like I didn't anticipate James killing himself, but once he did, I thought it was super obvious that
she was playing him.
Yeah, which is another thing I didn't like about, like, I was like, this one was super predictable. Well, once you get to that point.
What was their motivations though for wanting both her husband and him dead?
I don't know. She just want money, I guess. Well, like oh well, yeah, because I was gonna say, like,
she doesn't get any money though. Like,
but like, was she gonna frame him for the murder then?
Oh no. Well, no. If anything, the whole point of this, well, by making someone else do it, both of them are completely free. Like, they can't be found guilty of anything because it wasn't them; it was this guy. But then why have him? Like, why need to have him kill himself? Why not just turn him in?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't actually get what the motivation is here for this convoluted plan.
I don't know, like, did she just want out of the marriage and to be with that guy? Like, is it as simple as that?
Yeah, I get like manipulating him for him to like, for James to be the one to commit the murder, because that makes them free in the clear. They can't be guilty of anything. But I don't get the motivation where she has to, like, burn the confession. Like, why did she have to burn the confession? Surely him.
Well, in the confession, didn't it say something about the other guy, the Michael Ironside character? It didn't. Well, no. Then
it didn't. It literally just said, "Oh, I did this of my own free will," and she like was free. Had nothing to do with it, and that's all it said. But she burned it because. It's almost like they don't want the cops to know that James is the one who killed him, but then I don't get the motivation for any of it.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't get this episode. The one scene I really like the scene where Michael Ironside shows up and just starts making his demands, because I like it. I love that guy. He's so evil and slimy. He's great. So I really enjoy that.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing at that?
I don't know. I just think it's funny that you look up to this sleazeball, but
I don't look up to him. Michael Ironside is a great actor, right? People can back me up on this, right?
Wasn't there a show called Ironside?
Maybe.
Like the cop in the wheelchair?
First I'm hearing about it.
I might have dreamt it. I don't know. I thought there was something like that.
Okay. Let's swiftly move on. Not let's move on too. We've discussed the whole thing.
Well, like, I mean, there isn't, like, I mean, what else is there to say? Like, nothing else really happens, and I think
the problems with this episode, more than anything for me, it's not even so much the ridiculous plot, because some of the episodes have pretty ridiculous plots. It's more that neither James or Gloria really have much in the way of character, and when they actually start talking about murdering her husband, it just feels like kind of weird and out of nowhere. And then the entire, like, twist at the end just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So it just.
And I don't know, like, I feel like maybe I wouldn't have hated this so much if, like, again, it just feels like every episode we've had lately has, involved something with, like, a fraud marriage or a love triangle, It's just like, it's starting to get so repetitive that it's like, it just really annoyed me.
It's especially weird when, in a show like this, they probably filmed a lot of them at the same time, because it's different, different directors with different casts. They can. Yeah. It's just weird that because they could have intentionally flipped these around so they were more spread out throughout the season, Mm-hmm. Unless, of course, the rest of the season's all love triangles, in which case they had no choice. And we'll be seeing us get more demented as the season goes on, I'm sure. But if that is the case, but I doubt it. We have to break this streak.
Yeah, we have to, and I've seen a good number of episodes, like from my childhood that we haven't watched yet. So I know there's definitely some good stuff coming up that I'm excited for. But yeah, I feel like every now and again you get a dud like this that's just like, eh.
That's I don't necessarily think it's the worst one we've seen yet.
I would honestly say it's my least favorite that we've watched so far.
I don't know. I probably like this one more than the you'll marry a fat guy. He'll come into money. That one I didn't like so much.
Yeah, that one sucked. That for sure. But again, at least like I mean, maybe it sounds kind of gross, but like at least like there was like some gore and stuff to watch in that and then I don't know, I'll gladly take Tambor over Ironside any day of the week. He's more entertaining to me, but even in a big gross fat suit. But
then I see, generally I would agree with you, but not in a stupid fat suit. If there's one thing that I hate in movies and TV is fat suits. They always suck, they always look bad, and they always feel extremely goofy.
Yeah, no, I'll agree with that. Especially that one was really weird because like, Jeffrey Tambor, like, he's not that fat, but he's also not like the most fit guy in the world. Like you could still play like a unattractive sleazebag without, putting on a ridiculous over the top Hollywood fat suit. But
yeah, there you go. That's
also,
Tim's got more. Hold on.
One of the reasons why
buckle in, folks.
Why I was really upset is because it had one of the best Crypt Keeper intros too. I was so excited. He was like, in a little chef's hat. He was like, making food. I was like, oh, it's gonna have something to do with like food, poison, crazy chef. And then they had a goat in it. I was like, oh man,
that's a good point. see, when I seen the goat at the start, I was like, oh, this is gonna be one of Tim's favorite episodes. How little did I know that you'd open this episode with "I hated this one," because I seen the goat and I was like, this is Tim's episode.
The whole episode sucked, but the best intro, I will say that.
I like the outro as well when he was hanging himself.
Oh, true, yeah. I like that. That's just like his idea for fun.
Yeah, it's like that suicide thing is just not, it's not all it's cracked up to be. Yeah. That's Tales from the Crypt, episode 7 of season 2, The Sacrifice. Let us know.
I would say honestly, if you are watching along with this, and for some reason though you listen to this first and don't watch it, this is a very skippable one.
Tim, they don't. If they're watching along, they watch the episode then.
I'm saying if
no one does. If someone actually watches our top discussion before watching the episode, do tell us. I'd love to know why.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah, it is. I agree, it's weird, but just on the off chance that someone does, I just want to put it out there that this is a skippable episode.
Yeah, it's worth it for the Ironside scene.
Okay, watch that scene and then turn it off.
But no, yeah, you stopped me mid-flow, Tim. I was going into outro mode and you jumped in because you're vindictive against this episode. But yeah, guys, let us know what you think of the episode. If you can explain the motives behind the crime in this one, I would love to hear it. Like and subscribe and all that stuff. It helps us out a lot. We'll be back next weekend with the next episode. And of course, remember that we always do streams after midnight movies every week, middle of the week. And this past week's episode was Train to Busan, which is a Korean zombie movie on a train, which was very, very good. So check out the movie, check out our discussion. We really enjoyed that one. But yeah, thanks very much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.